So which connectivity is faster, direct query or live? Now comparing to these two, which one is faster, direct query or live? We have not discussed. I think I discussed. No, the live is pretty faster compared to your direct query mode. So in the case of live mode, for example, you have SSAS multi-dimensional, nothing but cube. So what is a cube? So what we do is, there are some softwares like SSAS, multi-dimensional and all, right? We can combine the key measures or the KPIs with the dimensions. For example, the simple measure is, let's say you have a net revenue. So if you have a cube created, you can do slicing and dicing. Okay, so you know very well cube. Cube is during school time, our parents bought that, right? We used to play with the cube. We rotate the cube and we play around with it. So similarly here, we create all the dimensions along with the key measures. Measures are something like net margin, cost of goods sold, and gross revenue, and so on. Okay. And for example, I have a net revenue. I want to, if I have a dimension, something like location dimension. So I want to see the revenue by location. Okay, I'm selling my products across 4 different cities. I want to see the breakdown of sales across these 4 cities. Okay, location. Supposing I wanted to see customer-wise performance. I want to understand. My current customer base is 1,000. Out of the 1,000 customers, I want to understand the top 5 or top 10 customers in terms of revenue. Which customers are spending more? Okay, if you have multiple dimensions like customer dimension, if you have location dimension, time dimension, okay, date and time dimension. For example, I want to view current month sales performance with previous month sales performance, like for like analysis, right? So in that kind of situation. So in the case of cube, right, we combine the dimensions with the key measures, and then we load the cube in memory. Okay, most of the cubes are in memory. They keep refresh the cube uh, periodically, okay, to make it up to date. Okay, so since the cube gets cached in memory, the performance is faster. Okay, so direct query, you may be debating with me saying that even in SQL Server in a company, there are some tables they cache in memory. Okay, not all the tables they cache in memory. Okay, in the case of direct query, right? So in the case of live mode, the data get cached in memory. Hence, the performance far better compared to direct query mode. Okay, next, what we will do is we will just understand the, we'll perform some simple data transformation related task in Power Query editor today. So this is my Power Query editor, sorry, Power BI desktop. I'm going to load some data here. Okay, here, let's load some data. Okay, not the Excel. Okay, I just use the same file. I'm going to hit the load button. get data, and here I'm going to use expenses.csv. Okay, we have two data sets loaded now. In addition to NC daily sales, we discussed about the folder connector, right? So that is the one here yesterday. And the next one is the expenses. This is this file. And so now what I do is I go to the Power Query editor. I'm going to click on the home ribbon and transform data. And then you need to click on the transform data to work with the Power Query editor. Sales W04. Okay. So now I show you something called keep rows and remove rows. In the home, see currently we are in the Power Query editor. In the home ribbon of the Power Query editor, you will find these are the icons, you can see it here. And importantly, the keep rows and remove rows. Okay. And here, when I click on the drop down next to the keep rows, we have various options here. Keep top rows, keep bottom rows, keep range of rows, keep duplicates, keep errors. These are the options are available. And in the case of remove error rows, we can see, these many number of options are available. Remove top rows, bottom rows, alternative, duplicates, blank rows, remove errors. Okay, so I just want to check if I have any duplicate records in this data set. Okay, or I want to remove the duplicate records. So what is the disadvantage of having duplicate records in a data set? Can someone tell me? If the same invoice number or same order appears more than one time, the same order and same product on same date, with this combination, if it occurs more than one time, what will happen? It leads to double counting. For example, listen to Sagar. He purchased a product in the order ID, this one 124891, CA2012 Mistakenly, the same record got included one more time. But here, when we do the reporting, okay, when we do the reporting part, listen, you are using some function. What will happen is, listen, you spent Sagar, the invoice amount is, the Sagar invoice amount is, or the order which he raised it, right? The sales amount for that one is, listen, $1,000. Let's assume that way, okay? So since the same record got duplicated, it will show as Sagar spent $2,000. Actually, he spent $1,000, but it'll show as though he spent $2,000 just because we had a duplicate record. If you have one duplicate record, fine. If you have more than one duplicate records, it will be a problem, right? First, before you proceed with creating the report, make sure that your data set has clean data in it. Right? So only then your report will be accurate. Something like garbage in, garbage out. If you give garbage, obviously you'll get in the report you will see garbage only. Okay. So here, no matter how visually appealing your dashboard, everything, end of the day, if the data are not accurate, it is not good. It is not helpful. Okay. Now what we will do is, I want to remove the duplicate records. But first of all, I want to check whether I have duplicate records in it or not. So how do I check that? We are in Power Query Editor in the home ribbon, keep rows. We'll go and check, we can select the keep duplicates. I just clicked on the keep duplicates. It shows me the duplicated records here, right? The same order ID and same order date and the ship date, everything is same, isn't it? Order ID can be duplicated because in the single order ID, more than one product, they would have purchased it. But in this case, what happened? same order ID, same date, and product, if you see the product ID also same, right? How come the same product can be displayed more than one time in a single order, right? Yeah, each product can be displayed only once in the case of an order, right? You can have more than one items purchased in a order, same order ID, but each item should appear only one time. But here the same item appears more than one time. With this itself, we are able to understand it's a duplicate record. Apart from this, here's something called null. And if we scroll towards the right side, we don't see any record. Okay, yeah, the second and third row, we can see that the same data is there, null. It's a blank record. We have a blank record plus duplicate records. Since the blank record also looks identical, it displays this one also as a duplicate record. So now, before deleting the duplicate records, it is always good to check which records have duplicate records. Fine. Probably you can take a snapshot of this one and share it with the customer why it is duplicated. Can I drop this one? And then you go and remove it. So now what I will do is I'm going to remove the duplicates. Now we are left with only one record. We remember that we have, this option, remove duplicate records, remove duplicates, will remove only the duplicates, not all the records. The 32298, so the order ID, this order ID appeared 2 more times. Okay, so 3 records we found in total. Of the 3 records, 2 records got removed. We need at least 1 record, right? If you remove all the 3 records, what will happen? There is no clue for this order ID, right? If you remove it. So of the 3 duplicate records, we are supposed to retain only 1. The remaining 2 you can delete it. Fine. So that is what happened. But here null is there. Okay, in this case, null is there. So why do we need to have null here? Right. So we don't have to have a blank record also. We need to remove the blank record. Okay. First, let's go here and check kept duplicates and remove duplicates. So here what happened? The previous step only it is removing the duplicates. Okay. We don't want that to happen. The kept duplicates, that is for our reference. We want to check how many duplicate records are there. Now we checked it. And then I'm going to click on the cross next to the kept duplicates, and this one will be undone, deleted. Now remove duplicates. So before removing the duplicates, for example, if I go to the source here and promoted headers, and if I go to the transform ribbon and click on the count rows, and I'm going to insert the new one. This is for our verification, 25,004 records. I'm going to undo this one. Now I understood 25,004 records. After removing the duplicate records, how many records should be there? So again, I am going to count it. Transform ribbon, go to the transform ribbon, and then click on the count rows. Look here, 25,004 was there initially. 3 duplicate records were removed. After removing that, we are left with 25,001. Okay, it removed the duplicate record successfully. So, this one, the count rows is just for our verification. I'm going to click on the cross mark. It is undoing that. Now it shows the data set which does not have any duplicate records in it. Very good. So now we understood how to check the duplicate records in your data, and then you can go ahead and remove the duplicate. But after you check the duplicate records, note it down and then remove that step. Otherwise, when you use this option, keep duplicates, and followed by that, if you do the remove duplicates, the remove duplicates will be done on top of this result set. Let's say you have 3 duplicate records. It will remove the 2 duplicate records and it will retain only 1 record. Okay, but you are left with only 1 record will be there, right? So hence you need to undo this one. Got it? Fine. So out of 25,000, 4 records, 3 records got removed because of duplicates. Fine. Now we have a blank record, right? I just click on the drop down in any one of the columns. I can see the null record is there here. Okay, so how do I remove the null records? So here we don't have any option for removing the blank. Oh, sorry, we have blank rows, right? Remove blank rows, and here unfortunately we don't have an option keep blank rows or view blank. Ideally they should have given, right? So here you don't have that option. Probably we can suggest Microsoft, right, to include another feature. And here remove rows. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove blank rows. How many blank rows are there? How do I check that? Now click on the drop down. You click next to the select all, and then you select only the null here. Okay, null here, and then what you do is that's all. Yeah, and then what you do is you just it is not getting applied. Okay, for example, I'm going to unselect the null. We will try it that way. And then I'm going to do. So now we don't have the duplicate record, sorry, null record. Now we will apply the count. Okay, now we will apply the count. Sorry, here it is not like, okay. Transform count rows. 25,000 rows were there. Still it remains as it is. It did not exclude the blank records. It will not exclude. It will still show 25,001 record. But here you can exclude the blank rows. Okay. Here I'm going to unselect everything. And sorry, here, okay, it did this sorting here. We don't need the sorting here because of which the null got hidden. Okay. Ideally, it should select only the null records here. When I give like this, So this step, the filtered rows, right? Filtered rows. We filtered the null record. Now again, I go here and I will show, I'll just check 25,000, correct. Okay. So now I filtered the duplicate. How did I remove the blank record? I just unselected this. Okay. I just unselected this. That's all. Okay. The other way of doing is, for example, here you can number filters. You can say does not equal insert here you can say, yeah, since I removed the duplicate, here you can say null here, okay, does not equal null. In that is another way of filtering the null record, blank record. But remember that if you have a blank value in one column, let's say here you have blank value. Okay, I'll just undo this one. Okay, I'm going to undo this one also. This is sorted rows is not required. Remove duplicates. Okay. After removing this is what the data we have it. And here it's a null, right? Sorry, I just select everything except null. Ideally, it should show the null record. Okay, what I was trying to say is you have a null value here, but the rest of the columns you have value in it. Here, only in the first column, let us assume that hypothetically, right? The first column you have blank value, rest of the columns you have values in it. Just because you have blank value here, simply if you go here, does not equal, sorry, here does not equal null. does not equal to, yeah. So now what I do is I'll just select this one and here null. Does not equal null. What will happen? It will exclude the row itself, right? It excludes the row that consists of null value in the first column itself. And here now we will go and check the count rows. 25,000. It is correct. In this example, in this scenario, we have a blank record, only one blank record. If you follow, if you specify a filter condition here, right? So when you click on the drop down in any specific column, if you go number, in this case, a number data type, number filters, and then does not equal option, I selected it. And here, since this step is already there, if you want to view the previous steps, right? So you can click on the wheel icon here, okay? So you can see what you did it here. That's what the filter. This is how we so keep rows where row.id does not equal null, which means keep all the records except null. That is what it tells us. So in this case, we know very well we have a blank record. So you can, this is one way of excluding the blank record from your data set. Okay, to test this, I'm going to check it in the second column. The second column, we don't see any null here. Can you see null here? Nothing. We don't have any null here. In case of any null value, that is the one will get displayed first, right? So we don't see any null value. So that means, we are, so if you, even if you have a null value, one single column, and when you apply a filter, like look here, filter icon is there. You have filtered the null values, right? So we filtered non-null values by simply unselecting the null here. The other option is you can go here and look here, you can click on the does not equal here. And what will happen? This is the one we already set it. What we did, this is what we did. If you want to see this in the dialog box, you can click on the wheel icon next to the step here. Okay, click on it here. Does not equal null. So this what happens in this case, it is correct. But if you have a null value, only one column, and if you apply this, entire row will get deleted because the problem is the rest of the columns you have data in it. Just because you have null value in a row.id, if you use that option, the entire row will get deleted, even though you have values in the rest of the columns. You need to be a bit cautious, okay? Okay, so now in this case, it is fine. What we did was correct. Okay. So now you learned how to remove the duplicate records, how to exclude the blank records. Okay, next one is, I'll go to the top rows. Okay, I just click on the counted rows here, and I just want to exclude, undo that one. Fine. So why should I undo the counted rows? So for example, when you go to the view ribbon, and here you will find something on advanced editor. So whatever the steps that we carried out. See here, if you see the steps here, applied steps, there's not only we applied the steps, even the system itself, the Power Query itself, applied some steps by default. So these three steps were carried out by Power Query Editor itself. These two steps were carried out by us. We removed the duplicate records, and then we filtered the rows that have non-null value in it. Okay, fine. So these are the two steps we carried. It's a mix of both the system applied steps and the user applied steps. Okay, so in this case, what happened? When you go to the view ribbon and click on the advanced editor, if you see here, this is the script generated by Power Query automatically. You have something called let block, in block. In the let block on the left side, you can see source. These are variables. Okay, these are kind of variables. Okay, and there on the right side of the equal sign, you can see the function, the table dot promoted as table dot column date. We don't have to worry about this. So these are the steps carried out automatically behind the scene by Power Query Editor. But up to this changed type, these are these steps, right? Up to step 3, up to line number 4, these steps carried out by Power Query Editor, or rather than saying this way, these 3 steps related scripts generated by Power Query Editor. Okay, and these 2 steps were carried out by us. Even for that, it generated the script on our behalf. Okay, cool. So now why I came here? See here in this case, each step is depending on the previous steps. If you see here the last line, 6th line, right? And the 6th line, it is using the previous line's output, remove duplicates. After removing this remove duplicates variable is holding the data set that do not have duplicate records. Take that data set that do not have duplicate records and then exclude the null value. So this step is depending on the previous step. This step is depending on the previous step. This step is depending on the previous step. Got it? And this step is depending on the previous step. So take the source, and then in the source you promote the headers, because the column names are not appearing in the column header. Instead, it is appearing in the row. Hence, promote the headers from row to column. You promote it. It was carried out automatically by Power BI desktop, Power Query Editor, and then you assign the data type. Row.id is integer. So Power BI itself assign the data type. Okay, and you take this step here. On top of this step, you remove the duplicates, and now the remove duplicates will have a data set where you don't have the duplicates. You take that one, and then you apply a filter. On what condition? Where row ID is not equal to null. But so the reason why I came here is, when I use count rows give me what? How many number of records? Okay, for example, I just repeat the same step again here. Please concentrate. Count rows, 25,000, right? And if I go here, the view ribbon, advanced editor, look here, the count rows is using the previous record, filtered rows. In this data set, filtered rows where row ID is not equal to null, it is doing the count. Next, if I do something else, right, it will not work. Because the next, for example, if I want to delete row.id column here, you don't see the row.id column itself, isn't it? That row.id column, the entire data set is available here. But here the counter rows gives you a single value, scalar value. Scalar value is nothing but single value. The counter rows gives me a scalar value. This is just for our verification. That's all. Okay. Once we verified, hey, yeah, after removing the null value, blank record, we are left with 25,000. Cool. You need to undo this step, because we are supposed to work on the data set. But this data set, we remove the duplicates, we remove the blank records. Super. Next one, I want to remove the row.id. Remove, keep the cursor here somewhere here, right click on it, remove it. I removed the row.id column because that is nowhere related to my report. You might be asking this question. So what is wrong in keeping only one column, even though it is not relevant? It will consume memory, and also it will slow down your report performance. Okay. So make sure that in your report, you are using only the appropriate column. Okay, Mahima has a good question. Are blank rows and null same? Yes, yes. Blank rows and null are same. Null is empty values in particular column. Blank records are for entire row being blank. No, not like that. Okay. It's a very good question. See, the Mahima's question is, blank rows and null, are they same? That is what our question. So blank rows, you don't have any value. And null, see what happens in the case of Power Query Editor. It puts null for some columns, and okay, let me open the data set to answer this question so that you will be able to understand. Okay, let me open an Excel file. File, open. All files, and here sales underscore w04.sales. Instead of searching it, it's this one. Okay, here I am searching the wrong folder, and here, yes, I'm going to hit OK. Fine. Now it open. Even in the Excel file itself, you can go and check it, right? But there are cases you will not have access to this CSV file itself. Okay, for example, you can click on it here, and here, not here, and you can go to the data tab here in Excel, and then filter. You have filter here, right? When you apply filter, and you just go here and check if I have any duplicate. Search null. But here it is not showing anything null here. Okay, it's correct. Row.id. I just go back here in the Power Query editor. The first one, yeah, change type, right? After changing the type, if I click on it here, we can see null here. In some case, okay, I just want to say, yeah, number filters equals null. This is for our testing purpose. Whatever that yeah, null only. You can filter only the null. This is how you can filter the null record. 1 second, right? Null record. And we can see that in 1, 2, we have null values. Row number 1, 2. Yeah, there is another question, good question from Vishal. Okay, let's we'll answer one by one. Okay. So here we see the null values only in this case. In this case, I just want to check one distinct and zero unique. Okay, what happened here at the end? The end of it, let me just go at the bottom. 25,005. But if you exclude the first one record, that is your column header, right? So what happened here, right? Maybe it is taking up, yeah, out of 25,004 records, 2 records were assigned as null value here. That's what I'm wondering, why it assigned null here now. Maybe if I open it as CSV file itself, notepad, maybe we should be able to find out the answer for that. The Excel file, not all the time helpful. It automatically assigns null value. Okay, since yes, this is the one. Right click on it. Let's open with Notepad plus plus. I'm using okay. Notepad plus is not there. Notepad is there. Take some because it's 25,000 rows. It will take time. But with this, the problem is difficult to interpret. But I remember very well, in between, I put some blank record, 2 blank. Look here, somewhere you have to 1003 232. So this is your 21191 row ID 21191. Yeah, NA, right? Yeah, that's good. Karthik suggests something. What he says, yes, yes. You are saying that NA, right? Okay. But here the NA is not there here. Okay, what you are saying is, yeah, NA is there already here. Look here, the NA, they put NA here, okay? And that means it's a null value, okay? Wherever NA they put it, that means that's a null value. The CSV file itself, they mentioned NA here, okay? And likewise, in the first column, somewhere NA is there. Yeah, in the CSV file, instead of null, they mention NA here. But in the Excel file, you can mention null. Somewhere the NA is there here in the first column. Okay, in the Excel, how we can check what he says is maybe correct. We'll try with Excel. D colon that one. Yes. This thing's going to separate file and here we don't see any recent here. Okay, sales W for sales is there. Okay, cool. Okay, here in the, is that what you're saying, Karthik? Okay, here what he says is, here can we search NA here? No, even in this case, it's not displaying that NA here. But I remember, yeah, blanks is blanks. Here you need to use blanks, okay? Correct. Blanks. Instead of null, here it shows blanks. So whatever, whatever the records marked with blanks are considered as null in Power BI Desktop. Okay, here it's little bit difficult to find out the blanks. Here it shows up to 74. Okay, you need to pull one after the other. Yeah, so here we have two blank records are there, right? So hence the blank record. See, NA is called your null value in Excel. The wherever NA you mention, sorry, no CSV file. Okay, wherever you mention row number 70 or null. Very good, Vishal. Okay, 73 and 74, right? Maybe that is the reason why it is not showing it. 73 and 74, correct. Row number 73 and 74. So how do you say that? Row number 73 and 74, we have null record. Here data and filter, because that is where it is showing it, right? After 73 and 74 only. Now it is not showing that one also. What happened here? I did not save it. Oh, it's a Excel file. It's a CSV file, right? Okay, sorry for the time that I'm taking here. 1 second. Let us show you. And here I just go here, data view and filter, apply filter and row.id. If you go at the bottom, we were seeing the blanks, even blanks were not there here, right? Blanks, the blanks. Okay. Okay, see, what happened when we did the filter first time? So I don't know why it is not showing now. Yeah, row number 73 and 74. We'll go to, yeah, that's correct. 73 and 74, right? Look, you're correct. You are correct. Sagar, you are correct. 73 and 74 directly because the row number is pretty simple, right? You are correct. Very simple one, right? So 73 and 74. It does not have any values in it, right? But when we looked at the Power Query editor, the same data, it was showing null here initially. Am I correct? Right? It was showing null. Yeah, null. And here, yeah, since this record is a blank record, it assigns null for the first column. Okay, so that way. So NA is nothing but blank value. For example, here our question is postal code. See, in the case of postal code here, I just remove this step. Look here it put null, right? Since, yeah, they start with null, and let's go and check it at the end of it. I'll just go here. Yeah, here we have explicitly mentioned NA. Wherever you mention NA, it is considered as a null, okay? NA. Wherever NA you mention, that is also considered null. And even though the row number 70, what are the row numbers? 73 and 74, right? 73 and 74. Even though we did not put NA here, it puts null here. Okay. The next question asked by Vishal here is, how do I, okay. Yeah, Karthik is, can we check NA instead of null? Okay, that's good. And okay, Vishal, when only some cells are null and others are filled with value, how can we check it? So that one you can filter it and check it out. Okay, and here the empty records, you have some statistics, right? Empty is this statistics very much helpful to find out the empty records by column. Okay, and if you see here, empty is less than 1%, empty is less than 1%, something like, and then if we go to the last one, and empty now gone, because we filtered the rows where we found duplicate records, right? In the filtered row step, we don't see any empty. Remove duplicates. Yes, we remove the duplicates. To answer to your question, for example, a specific column have only one column have empty values, rest of the columns have value in it. Or there are some columns have empty values, and there are some columns I have non-empty values. So with the empty statistics, we can find out. If you find less than 1%, that means there are some records for this column you have blank values in it. Okay, so null and blank records are same to conclude that, and also to find out the blank values in a specific column. This statistics very much helpful. How can I enable the statistics? Go to view ribbon, and here you will find column quality. When you enable column quality, displayed out of 25,000 records, how much percentage of valid records I have values in it row.id, how much error percentage is there, and how much blank values are there. With that, you can find out. Okay. Got it? Yes. Thanks, Mike. Okay, good. So remove columns, filtered rows, everything is fine. So the next step is what other transformations we do it. What are so data type? As I told you, the data type. For example, the same data set, the sales column, we have some dollar mixed up with the numeric value, and NA is there here, right? NA missing values, blank values are there. If you find any missing values in your key columns like sales, quantity, discount, profit, right? These are the important columns, using which you derive some measures. For example, this may be a gross sales. With this, you want to derive the net sales, net revenue. So if this column have any null values, it is not good, right? So you need to check with the customer, is this correct data or not? If they say, yes, this is not correct, but it may take some time for us to share the original, the correct data. Meanwhile, you can manage with this. So what you do is you just right click on it and replace values, replace all the NA by 0 for the time being, NA by 0, and then hit OK. And then this one is problem. I just go here, replace values. This we already seen it anyhow. A dollar, replace the dollar by blank value. Blank values in the case of text data type, it is considered, it's not a blank value, it's a empty string. Replace the dollar by empty string. Now the dollar went off. It got replaced by empty string. That is what you can see it in the step here. The generator, the script generated with Power Query, you can see replaced value dollar by empty string, and this one you do it in sales. Since still the sales column remains as a text data type. You want to convert the decimal, click on the ABC icon here to change the data type. Now you click on the decimal number. After you convert this one from text to decimal or from into whole number to decimal, make sure that you check your empty percentage. Oh, sorry, error percentage. Okay, you don't see any error here. That means this column got converted with, successfully converted with decimal data type or whole number data type. Okay, so it should not, after converting the data type, it should not cause any error. This is very important. Valid is 100%, very good. Okay, fine. So next one is, I just go here on the left side, the order date. The date column is also text data type. If the date column is in text data type, you cannot perform date related calculation. For example, your customer is asking you, okay, can you give me the duration taken to ship the products to each order? In that case, you need to subtract the order date from your ship date. Since these two columns are in text data type, you cannot subtract it. You need to convert this as date data type. How can I do that? You can click on it here. You can directly do it here. But before you do any data type conversion, first check whether the values are in the respective columns or in the proper format. When you see here, with this value itself, we can make out the date values are stored in US date format. Month, date, year. Month, date, year. Okay, month, date, year. But in the next line, if you see here, 205. So this one may also be right. Look here, when you see some other data, 11/7/2011, but the delimiter used to separate month, date, year, here it was /, here they used hyphen. Make sure that all the values in the date column are having the consistent delimiter values. For that, I'm going to right click on it by keeping the cursor next to the order date. Right click on it. I'm going to replace all the either the hyphen by / or the other way around. Okay, you can use the / here and then replace. It is up to you. So I need a delimiter /. Okay, wherever hyphen is there, replace that with /. Look here, I'm going to hit OK now. Now the formats are consistent. In the sense, the delimiters are consistent. We don't have a mix of hyphen / is good. After doing this, empty is 0 and error is 0. Very good, right? It did not cause any error. If you make any transformation, what we did was a simple transformation or formatting that did not lead to any error. Very good. But the next step, I just go here directly. I can click on the date here. If I do the date, still it is giving me an error, right? It is order date, date type and all. It is giving me some error here because previously, right, it was, the second row was still it is showing some error. What I will do is I will just undo this step and I will click on the ABC again. I'm going to use this option, using locale. This is a US date format. In US, the month come first and then date and year. Month, date, year format. So here I clicked on using locale. Here, what I do is, sorry. That is Karthik has a very good question. Okay, thought provoking. So he says, some values in my date column or in date, month, year. and some values on the same column, month, date, year. That is a data related. Yeah, that is where, yeah, we pose that kind of issues also. So, okay, where is my Power BI desktop? It got closed. My God. Why Power BI desktop got closed? 1 second. See, in that kind of situation, we will have to ask the customer to give the correct data. That's a painful thing. Don't take everything on your head. Okay. The application side, they are supposed to have the correct data with them, right? See, all the application, for example, we have developed a grocery app. The grocery app, whatever the orders that you raise it should get stored in the proper format. What date, in which order ID, which product raised, right, with the proper format. That needs to be taken care at the time of application development itself. But still, there are situations, you may land up these kind of issues. I find mix of this one. In that kind of, it requires some kind of manual effort only. Okay. How will you know if you have a mix of the inconsistent formats, right? Somewhere you have a mix of month, date, year, date, month, year. It's not the correct one. But yes, that's where we take more time, data analyst and data scientist. We'll just check, in case of these kind of issues, then we will have to get back to the customer and ask them, hey, give me the correct data. That's all. That's the only way out. Why it crashed? My God, all my effort went off. That's the reason why it is always good. You save it as and when it is done. Okay. I usually do that. Okay, we straight away jump into the date column. Okay, we don't want to waste time again doing the same stuff. I'll load it. I first save it as the I frequently use Control S. Somehow I missed out. Yeah, Control S. Right, you're correct, Sagar. So I just open the transform data. It never crashed. Today, I don't know. So, okay, this step, I don't want this column, I remove it. The order date, I just redo the same thing, replace values here, hyphen by forward slash. The next step is I just do the same thing here also. Here also the same issues, but make sure that in my case, I know very well what data, what values are there. Like Karthik asked, you need to keep watch it. Somewhere at the beginning, if you see more than 12, that means you have a major headache. You have a mix of Indian date format and US date format. Okay. But here the assumption is not only assumption, when we look at the data here, almost all the data, we have the mix of month, date, year, right? So here replace values. We are done, and I just go here using locale. Click on the using locale. And here the data type is date, and it's not English India, it is English United States. And again, you do the same thing here also using locale. Yeah, the question is, why can't I use the date? Why should I use using locale? See, by default, what happens? It goes by, since we have installed in our India thing, right? At the time of installation, right, we have used India and all. Default one will be taken care. Okay. no matter how you format it, but you need to explicitly specify which country date format it is. You can see now next to the order date, the calendar icon, you can see the next to the ship date, you can see the calendar icon. Very good. So it got converted as a date data, right? Now the empty 1% is there. So we know very well, right? You just go here and then we have a blank and text filters. You can go does not equal blank. Null. Where is the null? Okay, the row.id is very much self-increase. Let me just check here. Do you have any null values here, right? Yeah. I know very well in this data set. Okay, here order ID. Okay, order ID. Look here. Here in the order ID, we can see the blank here. But here does not equal blank. It is not displaying blank here. Why? Order ID is a text data type. This is another problem. Okay. We will take some numeric column for the time being. I just go here. Yeah, profit column. I just go here. Null is there. So the text column, it was showing blanks. For the numeric column, it shows null. Maybe we should have charged with blanks. Okay, null. But we did not see that also, right? I just give null. So thereby I excluded the blank record. Or else here, remove rows. Simply go here, remove blank rows. It will remove it. Okay, that is what we have seen it. Yes, one column have a missing value, but rest of the columns are one specific record. Let's say in this record, the order ID is null, rest of them are having values in it. Just because I have, forget about order ID should not be null. For example, you have something like shipping cost is 0 here or null, and a few columns are null here. Just because few columns are null, it is not appropriate deleting the entire row, isn't it? Entire record. So that situation, you need to go and check it manually with the empty statistics. Okay. If you find a specific column have empty values and that column, for example, sales column and quantity column, if you find empty values, then you have to check with the customer. That's all. Still, they want you to go ahead and continue with the existing data. Okay, they don't want to wait, right? So because they are busy, you need to replace it by 0 or something like that. Okay. Okay. Now order date and ship date got considered the date data type. Okay. The next one is how do I create a new column here? So I want to create a duration column. I just go to the add column. Here you will find something called custom column. Click on it. And here I'm going to say duration. What duration? Shipment duration. Okay. Shipment duration. And then what you do is, sorry, ON. Okay. And here you select the ship date minus order date. It okay. Now shipment duration column is ready. Okay. But it is in somewhat, so what you do is in this case, you can use the decimal number, 2 days or 2.5 days, something, or you can use the whole number also. So in this order, 0 duration, right? That means same day they delivered it. But here the duration was 2 days. They took 2 days to deliver it, 4 days. Okay, with this they'll analyze it. Which orders took more than 3 days, right? So unselected, they'll do it. Okay, fine. So now we created a new column by the name of shipment duration. How did we do that? I just went to the add column ribbon, and then here I clicked on add custom column. In the custom column, I have select the ship date, and then subtracted the order date from the ship date. To see that formula, added custom. Next to that, you can click on the wheel icon. It will open up the same thing here. Look here, this dialog box. This is where you can say ship dot my ship date minus order. This is what I did it. Okay, the formula I used it. Okay, and then I changed the data type to the whole number. Fine. This is how you need to do some the initial data transformation, everything. Okay, so we just we reformatted the data type for the order date column. Earlier it was ship date, and before we change it, we have made sure that all the values in these two columns are consistent. Okay, format, it has a consistent format, all the things, and then I have created a new column. Okay, and what else we have? Yeah, what other thing we can do is here, how to transform the category data, sir. Okay, what do you mean by why do we need to transform the category data, Google? Can you give me some context? How to transform the category? So we don't have to transform the categorical data. Oh, okay. So for example, maybe here you have some inconsistent data, right? The insert goes at the end of all columns instead besides to shift. The columns you have, yeah. So once you get a new column, that will go to the, yeah, that also I will tell you good that. See here, the shipment duration, the new column, whenever you create new column, that one will get created at the end of the column, right? So in your data set. So what if you wanted to move it somewhere, you just select, keep the cursor over here and just drag it wherever you want, you can drop it. For example, next to the ship date, if I want to drop this column, I can drop it. That feature is available. And I think in Excel, you cannot do it this way. You need to wait for some time until you get the required column, followed by the ship date. I wanted to have the shipment duration. You can drop it here. Very good, right? So we are able to drag and drop it. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So and okay, column you have been okay. And how to transform the category data? Okay, what he is asking is, so I have a categorical column like a ship mode, and how do I transform this one? See, in this case, here, if you click on the drop down here, how many categories are there in this column? Ship mode, right? First class, same day, second class, standard class. If you find something like same or in a second class, what they did, right? For some records, they put number 2 and followed by the ND, second, right? 2ND, second class. You know very well the number 2ND is nothing but second class. So in that case, obviously, you need to replace that values by proper name. Yes, you are correct, Sagar. Okay, the shipment duration, if you put it next to the ship date, so they will have a proper thing. So categorical column also, you need to check, right? If you have any inconsistency. Somewhere they mentioned, like he said, second instead of second class, number 2 class. The numeric value 2 space class. Actually, the numerical 2 space class is nothing but second class, right? Don't have multiple version for the same category. Combine them in a single name. Better you can use second class itself, the text. Okay. For that, you need to replace that. If you have any, for example, you need to replace it something like that. Somewhere if you find second class, you replace with second class. If you find any record that have second class in this segment ship mode column, you need to replace that by this one, okay? So that you will have some standard name in it. Don't, otherwise standard name, apart from that, there are some records transaction will go mapped under this category. There are some records will go and mapped under this category. When you create a report, you will find some inconsistency. Okay, what else we want? Okay, next one is I'm going to select the order date. I want to extract year separately. I want to compare current year with previous year sales. How do I do that? I just click on the home ribbon, and here, see everything I'm doing it as part of my Power Query editor. And here I just go here transform. Yeah, in the transform ribbon, you'll find date option here. Just click on the drop down here and you have something called year. When you click on the year, a new column will get created. In this case, I did not go to the add column. I did not click on the custom column. Look at the end of it. What is the column that you created? Okay, sorry, the order date itself got converted as year. So what we do is, I just undo this one. You created duplicates. Ideally, when we do this kind of thing, right? Encoding, 1 second. In this case, you can duplicate the column. In this one, you can do the date here. If you do the, if you extract the year directly from the main column itself, order date itself, it gets replaced by year. Okay, we don't want the original column values to be replaced this step. Okay. Instead, we want to have an additional column for year. Okay, you can also drag and drop it somewhat closer to your order. So again, year is the ordered year or shipment year. For example, December 31st, 2022, someone ordered it, but January 2nd, 2023, we delivered it. So is the shipment date, order date, or year, right? Which one? So you can also give some meaningful name here. So order year or something like that. Ordered year. What is that? Order year. The year is not dropped correctly. I think I missed out somewhere. Yeah. So you need to you can just drag and drop it somewhere here. So you need to give some double click on this column so that you can modify the column name here itself. Ordered year. Press enter. This is how you can rename the column. And also you can extract a month, not only month, date, everything you can extract it from the given date column. Okay. I'll show you one more example. And in this case, date, and I want to extract name of day. So it's a Monday, Tuesday, or something like that. But the more the number of columns you create it will consume more memory. Importantly, when you have huge volume of data. See, day name is Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. Okay, this is the one order. Okay, now order date copy is there. Okay, we don't see earlier it was got replaced. Okay, I just remove this. The day name, right? So this is your day name, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that when you plot it in the chart, the day name, Monday, Tuesday, Monday, how much sales happened, Tuesday, and you will get to know the trend quickly. This is how we can extract. Okay, what other things we can do it here? The rest one is, yeah, we have some other issue here. The country and state both values got stored in a single column. So we need to extract the country separately. We need to extract the state separately. That will see it as part of custom column. Okay. Sorry, the column from example. That will see it with that. And anyhow, now I'm going to apply, close and apply. I'm going to click on this option, close and apply. Power Query, look here on the right side, just beneath the application, so many steps are there. The real-time process, you will find a lot of steps will be there. This is really helpful. You can go to a specific step and then you can see added custom. So why we added the custom? When you click on the wheel icon next to that, so you will find, the formula that business logic which you used it to arrive this column. Okay, everything you can go and see it here. So now we are done enough thing, and I'm going to close and apply. So now only all the steps that we apply to the data set will get stored in our model permanently. This is what our model. When you go to the model view, you can see that. If I go to the model view, sales WC4, can we see order row.id? No, right? I removed the row.id. Yes. Okay. I'm going to press control and yes simultaneously. So we did some basic data transmission, okay, in the Power Query Editor, and also we will go one more time to the Power Query Editor, and then we will see is there anything else. Okay, in the keep rows, if you click on it here, keep top rows option is there. So what is keep top rows? Sometimes what will happen is you have huge volume of data, you don't take all the data. You want to do some kind of POC, proof of concept or prototype, okay? For that, you don't need all the records. All I need is out of 25,000 records, I need only, let's assume that 15 records, top 15 records only I needed. Hit OK. Look here, only 15 records got selected. So on top of this, you can work on, you can use this one to create visuals, and then you can use this one, right, to perform further analysis. Okay, I don't want to use the entire data. It will take a lot of time, huge volume of data, performance issue. But I need to select the top 15 rows. Okay, and supposing you want to select only the bottom 10 rows, and keep bottom rows. Here you can specify bottom 10. Last 10 records, only you keep it, rest of them you don't give it. And also you can check with the top 10 rows and bottom 10 rows, whether you can make a cursory check. Okay, instead of going through each and every data, you can go and check the quality of the data. So all the columns have values in it. Yes, the last rows. And now again, I go here and keep first rows. Okay, that's how we can check it. You can select only the specific set of top rows. You can select only the specific set of bottom rows using these options. Keep range of rows. Sometimes what will happen is, I wanted to randomly select some rows. For example, I want to select the sixth row. And from the sixth row, how many number of records I want to select? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 records. So here 6 is 42360, and here 1638. Look here. You can randomly also select the range of rows with this one. The range of rows, okay? And keep duplicates. This is for our reference. Do we have any duplicate records? Before removing it, you want to check it out for that purpose. And keep errors. In case of any errors, as soon as you load the data, you check, do you have any error? This is the first step actually you need to carry out. Okay, do you have any record after you load the data? Do you have any error in it? When you click on the keep rows, it will show only the records that have errors in it. Once you fix that, and you are all set to proceed with further analysis. So keep top rows, bottom rows, range of rows, keep duplicates, keep rows. We have seen it. Sorry, the keep errors. Next one is remove top rows, bottom row, alternate duplicates, and blank rows, remove errors, right? All these things we explored. And yeah, what else? Deepa, okay, Raj, overwhelmed. We are overwhelmed. It's a good session, but can we take it up next week? 1 second, we will see, okay, next one is, just wait for, okay, fine. What I will do is I'm finished with these options.